That was one of the things that was kind of scary for me, was trying to put myself in her shoes, just to even try and comprehend what it might feel like to be ready, to feel like it's the end and you're ready for that. Mm-hmm. But then again, when I was a freshman in college, I was like, ugh, graduating college seems so depressing.
You were ready to go?
And then by the time I was a senior, I was like, get me the fuck out of here. As much as I loved this experience, I'm ready for something different.
Right.
So
you're likening death to graduating from college?
Pretty much.
Got
yeah.
It. Okay.
Yeah.
It is a graduation ceremony.
It's a graduation
ceremony. Nice hairstyle today.
Are you being for real?
Yeah, I'm being for real. Your hair is very fluffy.
Fluffy.
Fluffy hair.
Well, yeah, I've been trying actually something new with my hair.
Do tell.
I'm letting it dry without touching it for about 15 minutes. Uh-huh. From the shower. Uh-huh. Like it's just sitting, soaking wet on my head for 15 minutes, and then I'm drying it. Uh-huh. And I'm finding I'm getting much better results.
Okay, well, I'm glad we had this little chat. What were you doing before?
I was drying it immediately upon getting out of the shower.
With a towel?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So my process is I'll dry it with a towel, and then I'll put in some pomade. Got to be pomade.
Got to be pomade. Uh-huh.
And then I let that dry if I can. I let that dry until it's dry, and then I fluff it up. So it looks a little stuck down until I've decided it's totally dry with the pomade in there, and then I fluff it up to get that sort of thick but dry look. Not greasy. You don't want, those guys that have too much gel in their hair and they look greasy.
Yeah.
So, but lately I've been letting it dry even more before I put in the pomade. Then the pomade goes in, and then I let it sit again, and then I fluff it up once more.
And how did you arrive at this new styling?
It was by accident.
Tell me about it.
I was busy.
Yeah.
And I just didn't. I was
busy when you got out of the shower?
Yeah.
What were you so busy doing?
I was doing some work, so I had to run out of the shower and do something on my laptop.
Did you get dressed?
No.
Did your whole body air dry?
I was wrapped in a towel.
Okay.
And I just was doing work, and then I was like, shoot, I should dry my hair. And when I drew it, after 15 minutes, it was like the results were so much different.
Oh, let me just tell you, it is working for you.
Yeah.
I'm glad we had this little chat. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So, welcome back. How are you doing? You said last night that you might be hungover today. Are you feeling hungover?
I was not slightly hungover. No.
No?
No.
But you were drunk last night.
No. I drank more than I ever drink, which is to say, if I have 1 or 2 drinks, that's a lot for me. And I had 2 glasses of sake. And
you said you had a full bottle of sake last night when we were on the phone. So were you exaggerating then, or are you lying now?
I feel I've been caught in the crosshairs here. I had a full bottle, but a full bottle was like this.
Yeah,
not,
like a
not
mini
that,
carafe.
Whatever it was.
No, I know you didn't die of alcohol poisoning last night.
So I did drink whatever they served me. I ordered sake.
Yeah.
It came in a little bottle, and I drank the whole thing.
Got it.
Okay? To me, that was more like 2 glasses.
Interesting. This is dumb to say, but I stayed sober last night because we had work this morning. But I guess that's why you don't get paid. You don't take this seriously.
Exactly.
If you start taking this seriously, I might be able to look into paying you.
If you start paying me, I might stop drinking the night before we'll go to record.
It's a vicious cycle.
It is.
By the way, it's a great metaphor for a lot of jobs.
Do tell.
It's like people don't take it seriously because they don't get paid. Well, but they also wouldn't get paid if they did take it seriously. A lot of jobs. Like people show up to Domino's hungover. You know what I mean? Because they don't get paid fairly or whatever. Domino's Pizza.
Who doesn't get paid?
The people that work at Domino's. Fairly.
Nobody gets paid at Domino's?
No, not fairly.
I think I see a lawsuit coming our way.
They don't get paid fairly at Domino's.
How do you know? Have you ever worked at Domino's?
You think people get paid fairly at Domino's? You want to start this early. You want to get in trouble this early in the podcast.
I would like to know what people make at Domino's, Christos, if we could.
Okay, let's pull it
And don't you
up.
think they get tips as well?
I don't think they would get tips unless they're delivering. But I'm talking about $11.59 to $23 per hour.
For $23 an hour, if you paid me $23 an hour, Lucas, I'd be very happy. Averaging higher in major...
$46 for our podcast session. Would that feel fair to you? Did it seem like a lot until I did the math? That
Yeah,
we're
it
only
seemed
recording
like
for 2
exactly.
hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
It did. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. So
Okay.
now that we've done this,
Yes.
do you think people get paid fairly at Domino's?
What's minimum wage these days?
It depends on, well, there's a federal minimum wage, and then I think it also depends on the state. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is why we have what's called a cost of living crisis. 17 per hour times 8 times 5. $680 a week times 4. $2,720 a month before taxes.
I was going to say that's before tax.
Now, your taxes may be lower if you have kids or a partner.
Do you think that the two of us discussing this is all credible?
Credible? Well, I'm just doing math.
Oh, okay.
Math is credible.
Okay, good.
But that's not enough money to live if you have like a kid, for example, and a rent, and you want a house that holds the kid. And this is in New York. So imagine you lived in New York City.
I was driving in to meet you,
Yeah.
and I was listening to NPR, which is what I listen to in the morning.
Yes.
And they were talking about the fact that healthcare workers, I'm going to forget what it was called, work 24 hours and they get paid for 12 of those hours. And they justify that by saying 3 of the hours you're probably eating, so you shouldn't get paid to eat. And 8 of the hours
you should be sleeping.
You
so
should be
shouldn't get
sleeping.
paid.
Right, so you're not getting paid.
Actually.
It's insane. And I couldn't believe that they were having that
I
conversation.
don't think that's legal because if you're working, you have to be paid.
Apparently, they're paid 12 hours
Well, if they're
for a 24-hour shift.
They're paid an hourly rate of.
They're paid. They work for 24 hours.
I don't know
and
why.
They're paid for 12.
I feel like NPR goes in your ears and then something else comes out of your mouth.
No, thank you very much. Live-in healthcare aides are legally permitted to work 24-hour shifts while being paid for only 13 hours.
Wow.
It is insane.
Sorry, guys, for the AI overview. We don't believe in AI, but we're just kind of getting. We're trying to get to the answers quickly here.
Look at this. Look at this. The worker is off duty or sleeping, and therefore does not. Need
I
to
see,
become...
because they're live-in.
No,
well,
they work 24-hour shifts. They don't live in. But it's like saying.
Well, no. Live-in home health aides. So what it's assuming is that they're sleeping for 11 hours, which they're obviously not.
Obviously not.
But they are getting to sleep. They're not working the whole.
Well, here's what I would say. Having just come off of this with my mom, when they had a 12-hour shift person who would come on, I think, at 8 o'clock at night and work till 8 the next morning. They couldn't sleep. You know, if my mom stirred or woke up or needed to go to the bathroom, they needed to be awake to take care. They needed to be inside. And
no, but I mean, they were waiting. Just even when we were trying to leave her alone, they were waiting by the door.
When there was,
I'm saying what you're saying. They were working the whole time.
They were working the whole time, exactly. And they needed to be alert, and they needed to be able to listen for my mom.
Yeah.
So, this is insane.
Well, they get paid differently in Canada, at least.
Do they get hourly in Canada?
The people that were caring for your mom.
Yeah.
Were getting hourly.
Yeah. Many of them were getting hourly.
Many of them? I only there were there 2.
Yeah, one of them was getting hourly.
Oh. Many of them. You make it sound like there were an army of home health aides waiting on your mom.
Well, there were 3 because you couldn't somebody couldn't work 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Right.
So we lost your mom.
Well, we didn't lose her. We know where she is.
Yes, she's in the ground near the airport in Vancouver.
Near my dad.
Yes, which they're both near the airport.
They're not.
I don't like where they're buried at all.
Really?
It's weird.
Which part is weird?
In the vibe part? Of the cemetery.
In what way?
It stinks.
What do you mean it stinks?
I don't like the cemetery where they're buried. It's not pretty, you know? Where are you guys getting buried? You getting buried somewhere pretty?
We are. We've got 2 plots already.
Yeah.
We're going to be buried with our best friends. The first person who goes down is going to take a coffee maker, and we've already discussed that.
Wait, are you really getting buried with your best friends?
Uh-huh.
Who, which
Mark
one?
And Stace.
Really?
Uh-huh.
You guys got
together.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't. Did you ever go to that synagogue in a non-death context, or is this just the death synagogue?
Which synagogue?
The one in Richmond.
It's not a synagogue. It's a chapel that's attached to the cemetery.
Oh, okay.
Where you have services for.
So that
only
rabbi
for funerals.
works out of a different synagogue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Because I thought that was the synagogue.
No, Lucas.
Because I was like, it's not very nice in there.
No,
it's kind of got a death vibe.
That's where you have a lot of people. I think in New York, I go to funerals. There's a funeral home.
Yeah.
And then they drive like an hour to bury the body, depending on where you're being buried. So on the west side, there's that famous Frank Campbell cemetery chapel, right?
The west side of New York?
Of Manhattan, yeah.
Where?
Right on 76th Street in Amsterdam. I've been to many funerals there.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Sorry,
and
chapel.
then they put the body in a hearse, and then they drive the body to wherever it's being buried.
Right.
But in Vancouver, where we went, anyway, I don't know, can only speak for that one, the service and the burial is right there together. So you go to the service, and then you walk 2 minutes, and you go to the burial site.
I also forgot. I thought we did like a ceremonial amount of dirt. I forgot we actually fully.
I like that actually.
Bury.
I like that.
If you guys don't know, in Jewish funerals, you bury. Everyone comes together, and you actually
shovel.
Yes, you shovel it back in. You don't dig. You don't have to. You don't have to dig. They do the digging.
There's a mound of dirt next to the.
Yes, but the hole is there. I mean,
correct.
We don't have to create the hole.
No,
the hole has been created, but then we fill it back in with
right. Exactly.
Dirt. Yeah,
which I like.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty crazy week. I know we talked about it, not having actually experienced what it was like to see your mom go. And in fact, I actually have a good advice question.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of related to this.
Okay, good.
So I figured maybe we could talk about it, and we could hear this person's advice question.
Okay.
Hey, you just posted on your story for advice specifically about grief. I just found out that my grandfather, so my mom's dad, has stage 4 cancer, and I'm struggling with not starting the grieving process too soon, but also kind of like knowing that it's towards the end, because I don't think that he wants any chemo or anything like that. So yeah, I guess advice on how, like, when you know it's the end but the person is still living, that would be great. Thanks, and I really like your comedy.
I thought that was a good question, because that was kind of the experience that we had with Bubby a little bit for the last couple weeks there.
Okay.
That we knew that was the end, but I didn't expect to be able to, by the time I went out, that was after we even recorded the podcast saying that she was dying. I thought she would be gone within probably a few days of then, but it was another 2 weeks. So we got to spend a lot of time with her.
Mm-hmm.
And also watch the whole process, which was, I don't have a one word to summarize what it was.
It was more emotional for you than you imagined it would be.
For sure. But I mean, it stirred up a lot of things in me. Like at times, it was kind of spiritual in a way that is hard to put words to. And then in other times, it was kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like actually watching someone die, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And in times it was kind of nice. But I don't know. It's your mom. I mean.
Well, it's interesting because she's asking about her grandfather. So you take it first because it was your grandmom. It's different for a parent than it is probably for a grandchild.
I don't know. I don't think I did a very good job of process. I kind of assumed it wouldn't impact me too much because I took the like baseball stats of what the situation was to mean that I shouldn't be upset. I was like, well, she's 99 years old. She's been around forever. I've been expecting her to die for the last 10 years. Like once she cracked 90, I was like, she's cooked at any day now.
Right.
So I thought by the time she actually died, it wouldn't feel like much because I thought I had been expecting it for a while. Mm-hmm. But I guess what I learned is like, I wasn't actually expecting it in that I wasn't really giving thought to the experience of losing someone, the experience of watching someone who you know as a fully formed person slip away into something that's unrecognizable to you, and the experience of, I think, just confronting the change, which to me, that was the biggest impact that Bubby dying had on me in the following few weeks, including right now, is like, okay, it's more of a statement of growing up and moving on, is that certain people in your life die. Mm-hmm. I actually haven't watched her special yet, but there's a comedian named Mary Beth Barone, and in the trailer for her special, she has a joke, or no, it's a clip that she posted from it, but shout out Mary Beth. But in the clip, she said, if your grandparent dies when you're in your 30s, you should be at work the next day. Sort of just pointing out that it's like you're lucky to have that much time with them at all, right? Which I think is true, but there was still the longer she lived, the more it felt like she was never going to die.
She's going to live forever, exactly.
So then, and I think there was just something, actually watching someone so close to death is a hard thing to let go of from my memory.
This is your first exposure to somebody dying. So a lot of people...
I guess it happened with Zadie, but I don't recall in that way. And I don't think I spent as much time in the room with him. I do remember, I guess, the feeling of walking in there and feeling like he was close to death, but watching the decline, actually.
We were very lucky because she died at home.
Yeah.
So we were in the room all the time. And with my dad, he was hooked up to machines and he was in a hospital, and it was much different. And I think when you're at home and you watch somebody die and you're there the whole time, right, it's much more intimate, and you really are part of the process in a way, again, that I didn't feel like I was with my dad because we were in a hospital.
Yeah.
So it was very different. And you could talk to her.
Yeah.
And she was conscious the entire time until the very end.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and like the younger ones of us, like Cooper and I, were moving her around so she didn't get bed sores, which she really didn't like. But it was also like, it was so interesting because at the point where we were moving her around, she was basically not really talking anymore. So I didn't know if she could, talk. But we moved her and she was like, fuck, ow.
Is that what she said?
She was like, stop.
She
was like, enough, stop it. And I was like, what? You could
have talked to us this whole time.
Yeah, but the whole vibe was like, I was dying. Can you just leave me dying? Like,
and one of her healthcare women, shout out to Erlinda, who was amazing. So Erlinda walked in and she said, hello, Mrs. B. And my mom said to her, fuck off, Erlinda. As a joke. She knew full well what she was saying.
Yeah.
But she, didn't want to be jollied along. So she had a big personality right up until the end.
Yeah, she did. She was really funny in those final days. She was really funny. And the other thing that was so interesting was like, and I didn't expect to feel this. I'm not very, I would love to be more woo-woo than I am, but I sometimes struggle with it. I like having woo-woo people in my life. I like people that believe the universe is saying things to you, and I find that to be a really comforting perspective on the world, but I can't always get myself there to believe that. But we had this like death doula who we had calls with. I sat in on one of the calls.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about? The death doula. The lady that you guys were all asking questions to.
Okay. Was I on that call?
Yeah.
Okay.
The lady, the Jewish death doula lady. You were all asking her questions, you and your siblings?
Okay, go on.
Well, you got to acknowledge that.
Well, I'm sure. I think it may have been a doctor's call, honey.
No. This was that lady Beverly.
She's a doctor.
She's a doctor?
The head of the whole...
Death. She's head of death.
Yes, but she's a doctor. She was the head of the whole... I don't know if it was the British Columbia system or the Vancouver system, but she was a huge doctor that dealt with palliative care.
Right.
Dr. Bev.
She wasn't a doula?
No, she was a doctor.
She can't be both. Doctors can't be doulas
Dr.
anymore.
Doula? Anyway, go on, yeah.
So when we were hearing Doc Doula on the phone,
Yeah.
she said a few things, and I guess we're kind of straying. We're talking about our experience, but I hope that the answer, by the way, to the advice question is I don't know. I think it's probably different for everyone, and I think through sharing our experience, maybe that will give you some insight into what it might be like for you.
I also think you don't want to start. I mean, look, I don't know what her relationship is with her grandfather.
Yeah.
I don't know what the mother's relationship is with her father. So if she's very, very close to her grandfather, why spend the time he's still alive grieving? Enjoy every minute you have with him while he's alive, and then deal with it afterwards. And I think one of the things that you learned, and actually that I learned through this whole process, is that we think we can control it, and we think we know how we're going to feel, and we think we're going to, prepare, and you don't prepare. You don't know how you're going to feel, and just be in the moment. I mean, not to be too woo-woo myself, but I do think that there's no reason to. I mean, she's in her head if she thinks I'm going to plan this, and then I'm going to prepare for this, and then I'm going to do that.
I don't think she thinks that, but I think the question is like, how do you approach the relationship with someone that you know is going?
I think obviously the grandfather has made a very clear decision if she says he's not going to get any chemo, and to me, it would be a great opportunity to talk about his life. How are you deciding that this is not, that you're resolved, that you don't want to have treatment? I mean, it's interesting. I've seen so many people who fight till the bitter end and want every single treatment they could possibly get. And then I see other people who say, I'm done.
Yeah.
Again,
your mom kind of had shades of both at various times.
Really interesting, wasn't it? 99. Yeah. And
she said at times, I'm ready to go.
And then other times she said to me, when am I going to be 100?
Yeah.
And I said, Mom, another 365 days.
Yeah,
and
like you just turned 99.
Right, exactly. So I think, again, I can't put myself in that situation, but I think she was ambivalent sometimes. Sometimes she thought, I'm ready, and other times she was fighting it.
That was one of the things that was kind of scary for me, was trying to put myself in her shoes. Just to even try and comprehend what it might feel like to be ready, to feel like it's the end and you're ready for that. Mm-hmm. But then again, when I was a freshman in college, I was like, ugh, graduating college seems so depressing.
You were ready to go?
And then by the time I was a senior, I was like, get me the fuck out of here. As much as I loved this experience, I'm ready for something different.
Right.
So
you're likening death to graduating from college?
Pretty much.
Got
yeah.
It. Okay.
Yeah.
It is a graduation ceremony.
It's a graduation
in some ways.
ceremony.
Exactly.
I felt when I was with her and she was dying in the final days, I felt instinctively like she was going in the direction of a place that would bring her relief. I didn't know what that meant, but I felt like she's going somewhere, and when she gets there, that will be relief. Even honestly, at the very end, I felt, even if that place is nothingness or the lack of being, that is relief in its own way.
You know, she was lucky in that she wasn't sick. It's not as though she had cancer and she was in pain, and we don't really know at the end what happened. She just stopped eating.
I know what happened. She was 99.
She just stopped eating.
Yeah.
So she wasn't in pain. She was peaceful. And so it wasn't as though I was thinking, thank God she's finally not in pain anymore. Again, a blessing for her and fortunate. But so when you say, I thought she was going someplace good that was a relief, I'm thinking not as if she needed to be relieved of something that she'd been suffering from.
Well, I felt, this is what I was going to say about the death doula, Dr. Death Doula.
Dr. Bev, yeah.
Is she said that sometimes the dying process, you have like the body and the soul, whatever that means, mm-hmm. and that it can be a fight. Sometimes the body's ready to go, but the spirit is not, and mm-hmm. vice versa. Mm-hmm. And I think Bubby probably had one of the most peaceful and enviable deaths you can have. Mm-hmm. Nonetheless, seeing her in her final days, it's not a good vibe. It's not pleasant. she, it did look at times, to me, it looked agonizing. I don't know if she was in agony. I hope that through the drugs we were able to give her, she was comfortable.
Right.
But I think at the very least, if there's some amount of validity to that there is a fight between the body and the spirit, that conflict in itself is something I think you would want relief from. That those two things can agree and be in peace. And by the way, when I was moving her, like she was in agony at times. I mean, I think it can't be good to die. It's got to feel bad.
Was there any part of you while you were watching that thinking, what's going to happen when it's my turn? Were you thinking at all about the mortality of Daddy and me?
Wait, that's two different questions.
Well.
Oh, wait, sorry. Your turn, like you, Wendy's turn, or my turn?
No, my turn. In other words, I'm next.
Yeah.
So when your parent goes,
I was
part
thinking,
of that is...
and when I saw your brother crying about his mom,
right?
I thought, how will I feel when it's my mom?
Right, exactly.
Well, I was thinking about, our DNR clause in our family.
Right.
I was thinking
it's
about
more
how...
than a DNR clause.
Yeah, it's blow my
if
brains
I'm not
out.
funny anymore, please hold a pillow over my head.
Yeah.
When I lose my sense of humor, time for me to go.
Yeah, I was thinking about how I got to leave that in the hands of my older brother.
Oh, God, me too. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I was like, I don't have the strength to...
But I'm not even talking about that. I'm saying, when did it occur to you you're going to lose me? Who are you going to do the podcast with?
I'm not quite there yet with losing you. I think that's another one of those things where you should be... I mean, I think whichever... You've, in my opinion, taken this death harder than you took the death of your dad, which is interesting because I wouldn't have necessarily told you that you were closer with your mom than your dad. In fact, the opposite, potentially.
Correct.
But I think...
Which some might argue, I mean, if such a cliche is... I knew exactly what my relationship was with my dad and less so with my mom, so maybe there was no closure or maybe it was whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but also, my read on it was like, when your dad died, you didn't have to wrestle with your parents being gone.
Exactly, because I still had one parent left.
You have no parents.
Right, I have no parents. I'm an orphan.
You're an orphan.
It's funny. Every night, my mom lived on the west coast of Canada, so she was 3 hours earlier. So I would get into bed at night, and I would say I should call my mom. And sometimes I did, and sometimes I didn't. I was too tired, but it was always the perfect time. If I got into bed at 11, I could call her at 8 or whatever. And every night this week, I got into bed, and I thought, I should call my mom. And then I thought, I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So,
which is sort of what loss is.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. But so you're not ready to deal with looking at Daddy or me. Which one is it?
Daddy or me.
Going. You're not there yet.
No. Okay. Not quite.
Okay.
I would say you seem a little too sprightly.
I still have my sense of humor.
Yeah, you guys both seem like you're not ready to go. So, okay. I mean, listen, I think, I had to confront it briefly when we talked about you having some medical issues.
Right.
But I didn't really want to go there, no more than I wanted to go there when I've had friends with similar medical issues who are young.
Yep, exactly.
What year is it? Maybe when I'm... 10 more years is probably when we'll start. Hopefully. I'm hoping in 10 years when I'll start kind of...
starting the countdown for us?
Yeah.
Your older brother has lost people to overdoses.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been through that. And you've never really lost anybody. Not that I wish that on you. I don't. And this is your first encounter with death.
Well, it's my first encounter this close up. I mean, I've lost 2 grandpas.
2, yeah. I was doing the math.
You're like, 1. Who's the other?
Yeah, but neither of whom you were that close to. Neither of whom
I wasn't that close to Bubby either.
No, but you were actually in the room when you watched her.
Yeah. And I think in the last couple years, I don't know. She was into the stand-up stuff,
Right.
and she called me. She started calling me.
Right.
So that was kind of nice.
Right.
I mean, it was funny that she had our podcast on.
Exactly.
She died to our podcast.
Well, she liked watching the two of us. I mean, I don't think she could hear it.
No, I don't
but
think she was
just looking
listening.
at
She
the
was
two of
watching us sound off.
Exactly.
Yeah. Had she turned the sound on, she would have tuned in to like, I think people can live at the minimum wage, and that's actually good for them.
And then she would have wanted to die sooner.
Yeah.
She would have been forced
She
to
would have been
tears.
like, go on, move me back and forth
Exactly.
until I'm gone.
But let's go back to the caller for 1 second.
Yeah.
I think you can't, I mean, if I've learned anything, another cliche, you just never know how you're going to feel at any given moment until you're in those shoes. I mean,
Yeah.
I could not have predicted that I would have been so hard hit by my mom's death. And so if you would have asked me hypothetically, I would have said, no big deal.
Yeah.
She's 99. She's had a really long life. On and on and on. There was nothing left on her bucket list. She had a great relationship with all of her grandchildren and great-grandchildren. I couldn't have predicted it. So to the caller, I would say, your brain is asking the question, but there's no way to know what your heart's going to feel.
Yeah.
And-
I remember my friend Ben, he lost his great-grandmother.
Okay, yeah.
His great-grandmother, Vera,
Yeah.
she lived to, I think, 107.
Oh, yeah, she was old.
And she worked until the very end. She was,
Yeah.
I believe she was a sex therapist. Maybe that's like
Dr.
from a
Ruth?
movie.
He was
No.
His grandmother was Dr. Ruth?
I think she was. I think she was a sex therapist. I'm almost sure of it.
Okay.
And she worked till the very end. And the way she died was she had dinner with all of her family the night
Right.
before, and then she
Right.
died in her sleep at 107.
Right.
The night after having like a great, and she had been working up until that point.
I think you're making this up, but I love the story.
No,
No, it's a
I'm
good
really not.
story. Yeah.
And I went to the funeral. This
Right.
was probably college around,
Okay.
maybe a little after college.
I didn't go to that funeral.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you clearly didn't care, but I did.
Okay.
I show up.
Okay.
When people need me in my life, I show up for them.
Yeah. Okay.
You were probably out getting drunk off sake.
Probably.
But I went, and everyone was crying.
Hmm.
And I was like, the fuck are you guys? She was 107.
Yeah.
I was like, who gives a fuck? In fact, maybe it was more recently than that, because I wrote a joke about it. That went in
You made fun of her death?
No, not of her death, but
Right.
I wrote a joke about how, like, when someone who's 107 dies, that's more reasonable than them being alive. Like, that was the premise of the joke, was like, it's way scarier to have an 107-year-old that's alive
Right.
than one that's dead.
Okay.
And it was a joke about, like, that no one should be crying at that funeral, you know?
Now you've learned.
Yeah, I reflected on that a little bit, and I was like, well, you can't. That's easier. Grief and death is not something that's easily put into words. It's more of an experience. It's an
Right.
emotional experience.
But also, it's really interesting because everyone said she's 90, about my mom. She's 99. She lived a really long life. But that has nothing to do with the people who are left behind. And I think I told you this. My brother, who is 72,
Yeah.
was bawling.
Yeah.
Because
like,
he
"My
lost his
fucking
mommy. Exactly. And it was
Yeah.
like, and you can't say to him, she was 99 years old, get over it.
No, but
He
you can
was-
say to him, you're 72.
I
Hold it
did.
together.
I said you're
Yeah.
72. It didn't seem to have an impact on him. So for the people who are left behind and for the people who have an emotional connection to that individual, it doesn't matter if they're 99 or 107.
I also felt, this is a different aspect of it. It's probably not relevant to all families. And you probably didn't feel this way. But I felt like it was sort of the end of an era for these two sides of the family.
Right.
Did you experience that at all? We have family, right, that lives in Israel. And I think I can say that. You're kind of giving me a look like
I'm
you're
giving
worried
you a look
about what I'm
because
going to say
everything
next.
I say, you cancel me. So usually if I even mention the word Israel, you tell me I'm not allowed to talk about that.
Yeah, okay. We have
Okay.
family that lives in Israel.
That's a fact.
That's just a fact.
Exactly.
As much as you may want
Don't go
them,
there.
you want them to live in Gaza, but they don't. They live in Israel.
Okay. Yeah.
Much to Gaza's dismay.
Right.
And I don't really have too much of a relationship with them, but over the last 10 or 20 years, one thing that always brought the family together was Bubby. Like, she would always do these big birthday parties on the big milestones, 95, 80, and we would all sort of come together in some place. And I felt like with her being gone, there's no
matriarch. There's no matriarch left in the family. Yeah. That was the matriarch. And we only have 3 kids in our family, right? And my parents had 4 kids, and everybody went, and then they had grandkids and great-grandkids. And so it really is, in some ways, the end of an era. Not because I won't see my siblings anymore. I will, but there won't be that organizing force behind it anymore. I will say Olivia said something very sweet to me. She said, I'd never really met any of your siblings, or when my mom died, my brother's kids came and my sister's kids came. So she met my nieces and nephews and my grandnieces and nephews because they brought their kids. And she said, I liked every one of them. They were all so lovely and all so sweet.
Yeah. No,
so it was really nice.
Shout out them and everything.
Yes, exactly.
But we're not going to really be seeing them.
You never know. I mean, I think Olivia had a nice feeling about them and would love to see them again. Just because you are an ungrateful and judgmental
No,
bastard.
it's not. Listen, I mean, you're not going to catch me on a plane to Israel unless things take a real bad turn for my career. And it's the only place where I can go.
Oh, my God. Well,
Tel Aviv, hello.
Yeah, I think you would be lucky to perform there.
In Tel Aviv?
Yeah.
I don't. This movie I'm doing.
Uh-huh.
I play the Zionist.
Uh-huh.
It's a movie about, I'm in a movie.
Do you think it's too soon to plug the movie, honey?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I shot it yesterday.
I think it's going to be out tomorrow.
It's going to be a while. Hold your breath. It's about a...
What do you think the rating on Rotten Tomatoes is going to be for this movie?
I can't say what I think. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Uh-huh. Okay, good. You're talking... Got it.
It could be very high.
Uh-huh. Okay, we'll plug it on the podcast.
We'll see. When it comes out, we'll check the Rotten Teas. Exactly. So far, my highest Rotten Tomatoes is Pizza Movie that I'm in briefly for Hulu. Yeah. So let's see. I have a pretty good Rotten Tomatoes track record. Okay, let's check my Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
Pizza Movie.
By the way, Daddy and I watched Pizza Movie.
Yeah. What do you think? You liked it.
Here was the problem. At some point, I said to your dad, that person looks exactly like Lucas. And he said, it is Lucas.
Are you serious? Mm-hmm. You didn't know that I was in it when you watched
No, I knew you were in it, but I didn't know who you were, and it just was a disconnect.
Oh, yeah. I'm certified fresh.
Okay.
79% critic review. Unfortunately, we're one of those movies where the audience rating is lower than the critic.
Really?
64% audience.
Huh. I thought it was pretty clever, actually.
It was fun.
And I didn't know how it was going to end.
It's a good, Gen Z stoner comedy.
Yeah, exactly.
The ending was fun. It was fun. It was zany.
Zany.
I'm really trying to work on cutting edge projects in my acting career. So I don't just go for those fastballs down the middle. I do something a little different where I have this approach in my acting career where I take every single role I'm offered.
And for the roles you're not offered, you beg.
Yes.
You stalk the director.
And turns out that doesn't actually get you the role. In fact, for many directors, it makes them not want to hear from you. But one thing I've learned through this approach of radical yes, that's what I call my acting career, radical yes, is you get such a variety of projects because you're saying yes to everything you get. And so one thing is interesting is even if your approach is yes to every role, you still only book a role about once a year, if not less frequently. But nonetheless, you go from being a sex offender, which is the role I played in Pizza Movie, and then I got the role of Zionist. Now,
you were a sex offender in Pizza Movie?
Yes, that was my only line. I said, I'm a registered sex offender. I don't know if you recall that.
Apparently,
They go.
Not memorable. And you're my son.
Typically what happens when I get booked to do a movie is they send my lines, and my lines usually have something racist or rapey in them. And when I'm really unlucky, they have both. And a lot of those times I go, hey guys, would it be possible if I'm not rape Nazi this time? Could I be consensual Nazi or tolerant rapist? Must I be rape Nazi every single time? Because I know that I'm not likable or good at acting, but must I be rape Nazi?
But you are good at comedy because I'm laughing.
Thank you.
Okay,
I appreciate
good.
that.
In fact, I might even go see a show of yours.
You should. You should come to a show.
Okay, good.
Don't go see me on the
movie.
big screen because the acting will be bad even if the movie's good.
Okay, good.
But and by the way, the acting is it's so hard. I find it so hard to go. I think this is why they say stand-up comedians are bad actors, is I find it really hard to not just be myself and react as I am reacting.
Exactly.
And my biggest reaction when people start acting is just discomfort. Because everyone's...
So maybe you're not meant to be an actor.
Well, that's clear. I'm trying to sort of shoehorn my way in. I'm not meant to be an actor.
Okay. Well, then why do you keep auditioning for roles?
I don't know. I like it. Here's what I'll say. For every movie I've shot, where they give me more than 2 days of shooting, by day 3, I start having fun. But days 1 and 2, I'm like...
Why am I here?
No, I'm just like in the scene, like, are they really fucking saying that right now? And they're so serious. Okay. You know what I mean? And so for this movie, the premise of the movie, I wonder if I can say, whatever. The premise of the movie is it's about a friendship between a Jewish person and a person of Palestinian descent.
Which is good because we're trying to prove that there can be peace.
Yes, they're best friends from childhood.
Right.
And then October 7th happens, and it's about sort of their experience. And I hope... I didn't read the script. I got booked on it so...
You hope they don't kill each other at the end of the movie. You hope that they actually...
I don't want to ruin the movie, and the good news is I can't because I didn't read the ending. But I hope that I think the message is,
we
peace
can find
and love, that there's common ground.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, I think it leans... listen, it's not a Zionist movie. Like, it definitely leans away from Zionism, which I support.
I don't even know what that means.
You don't have to
away
say that.
From Zionism.
You don't have to.
It's a movie between a Palestinian.
It's not pro-Israel. The message of the movie is not, Israel is justified in its actions post-October 7th.
That's not what the movie's about. It's about 2 individual lives and about their journey.
I agree.
Okay.
I think you want to have an argument that I'm not
No, I think you want to introduce
you.
Zionism to something that's irrelevant.
No, it's very much about Zionism.
Why?
I'm in it. What do you mean why?
You didn't even read the script.
Yeah, but I know my own lines.
My own lines.
I'm a Zionist in the movie.
That doesn't mean the movie is about Zionism.
The movie is about Zionism.
Okay, please continue.
The movie is...
what time is it? I think we're running out of time.
We are
here.
actually running out of time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I play a Zionist.
Uh-huh.
An ardent Zionist.
Uh-huh.
And... What?
God, please continue.
What? What part of this is frustrating? Just saying Zionism? It is a real thing.
What is a real thing?
Zionism.
I don't even... Okay, what is Zionism?
Zionism is... Well, it depends who you ask.
I'm asking you.
It's the belief the state of Israel is an essential homeland for Jewish people. Specifically, I think current Zionism is the state of Israel as it stands and functions now is imperative for the Jewish mandate, which is to have a homeland.
Let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. Is it possible that Zionism is simply, and I'm afraid I don't want to hear your answer, does the state of Israel, as it currently exists, have a right to be there on the map?
I don't agree with the state of Israel as it currently exists. I don't agree with an ethno-state.
No, I'm not talking about its politics, what it's doing in Gaza, or anything else. I'm simply asking a very black and white question.
Does it have a right?
It's on the map. It's on the map. There was a British mandate in 1948. Israel exists because of a British mandate in 1948. Yeah. Does that state on the map have a right to exist?
Does it have a right to exist? No more or less than America.
There you go. Does the United States have a right to exist?
only through firepower and torture of other people.
Are you suggesting you want to give the United States back to the indigenous people?
No, and I'm not suggesting. I'm making
indigenous is probably Canadian.
I'm making
Native
a normative statement about how the world works, which is that as long as Israel has the funding that it has and the weaponry that it has, it will exist, just as the United States will exist through fear and intimidation.
The United States exists through fear and intimidation?
Yeah. Why does no one take war to our doorstep? Because we're going to nuke them. Because one time Pearl Harbor happened, and then we nuked them, and then another time 9/11 happened, and we went to Iraq for 20 years. Now, I have nationalist feelings for the United States. I shouldn't say that. But I like being an American. I'm just not Israeli. But I'm sure if I were Israeli, I'd feel nationalistic feelings for Israel. But do I think the U.S. should exist if I'm not American? No. If I'm not American, no. But I am American.
Name one country
that should exist?
That should exist based on your premise of countries that shouldn't exist.
Got it. Somalia.
Seriously. Name one country.
Somalia.
Okay.
Unless you want to take the other side of that. Should Somalia not exist?
Oh, my God. Okay.
No, I mean, some countries are...
Is there and I don't know the answer to this question. This is why we have a brilliant, is there a country
that wasn't founded through bloodshed?
Yeah, that has never had a war that just...
Wait. Never had a war is different than founded through bloodshed. I think most of the countries in Africa, I don't think there was a different indigenous people living there that were then systemically slaughtered and replaced with the current people there.
I think that's probably incorrect, but I'm just taking the other side of it, even though both of us are ignorant and ill-informed, okay?
But, I mean, no. I mean, countries are formed through bloodshed. I agree with that.
Right,
as a general,
every country, every single country.
As a general
right.
premise. I don't agree in an ethno-state, personally. And that's what Israel is. It's an ethno-state. It's an ethno-state for Jews, but it's an ethno-state.
Okay, can we move along?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
How did we get here from your Bubby down?
And the horrible part is, poor Bubby is up there listening to her grandson thinking...
No, I think poor Bubby is up there watching the podcast with sound off, going, "Aw, look at them, they're laughing."
Exactly, that's fair.
And, and she saw me smiling at the camera when I said Somalia. Aw, he's probably saying how much he loves me.
And he's probably saying how much he loves Israel right now.
Yes, that's probably what he's saying.
There
he's probably declaring his love for Israel.
Thank you very much.
As I did in this movie.
Exactly. Time's up.
Okay, I think she's right actually this time. So thank you very much. That's been it for us today.
Okay.
Yes.
Love you.
Love you too.